Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. At the end of the last episode, we opened up the first pyramid of the world, and it is now time to enter said pyramid. As you can see, we have a new NPC here. Go ahead and collect all these notes, kind of scattered throughout the perimeter of this pyramid. Grab that Mumbo token, just hanging out and about. And we want to make sure we collect every last note here because these can be kind of hidden and are very easily missed. We'll go and talk to this guy. Hello, my friend. I am Ruby. Can I be of some help? No? We're looking for treasure, pipe boy. Very good. I see some up there. It's yours if you can get it. Yes? Yes, this is Ruby, the snake charmer. So what he wants us to do here, as you can see, we have a rotating pot. We want to go ahead and shoot Kazooie's eggs out of her rear into that little moving pot, and it'll get faster and faster each time. And as soon as you shoot enough eggs into it, Ruby will give us a little help. Ah, 1,000 thanks. My friend Histup will now help you with your quest. And he's going to do his little snake charming thing, play his little pipe there, and Histup is going to stretch his neck all the way up, allowing us to reach the next Jiggy. This is Jiggy number 2. So it is time to make some progress here in Gobi's Valley, and I love this guy. He is probably my favorite NPC of the game, if not one of my favorites, but probably my all-time favorite NPC. Look, he's just chilling. Let me get a nice view of this guy real quick. I love Ruby. Look at him. Just chilling there with his little pet and his pipe in the other hand, in his hand. He's just living life large. But now it is time to exit outside, and we are going to move right along. So pyramid number 1 is done. We have a lot more pyramids and a lot more buildings to check out. And I think one of the reasons why I love this world is because there's so many different pyramids and different stuff in each one of them. There's usually a puzzle or a certain challenge in each different pyramid. And it's nice to be able to take those on. But now it is time to climb over here because we have some more notes. And this is probably the first world where they start to kind of scatter the notes kind of all over the world for the most part. There are some that are linear, but for the most part, these notes are not as linear as they have been in some of the previous worlds that we've seen already. And this is the world where things start to kind of step up a little bit in difficulty and get a little bit more challenging. There's a lot more challenging puzzles. All kinds of different quests we need to do in order to get our 10 Jiggies. So now we're going to jump over to this platform, and it is now time to feed this Sphinx. And in the last episode, I actually want to correct myself. Jinxie the Sphinx is a Sphinx. I called him a dog. These guys remind me of dogs just because their face kind of looks like a dog, but however, it is not. So the face of Jinxie and these Sphinx guys is actually supposed to resemble a bear, and they actually look very similar to Banjo's face. So if you notice, even like this Sphinx right here, it essentially just looks like Banjo's head plopped onto a Sphinx, which is essentially like a cat-like creature. So I always thought that was kind of interesting because as a kid, I always thought it was like a dog with like a cat body, but I guess it's supposed to be like a bear head on a Sphinx. Which of course, back when I was a kid, much younger, I didn't know what a Sphinx exactly was. I just thought it was a big cat, which essentially is a cat. But anyways, you get the idea. It's kind of weird, but hey, it's Banjo-Kazooie. You know, what are you gonna do? They have Kazooie targets here, so I guess Grunty knew Banjo and Kazooie were coming. So she wanted some statues and targets and switches. I guess that looked identical to them, just to kind of freak them out. I guess I don't know. I really don't know why they have essentially Banjo's head on a Sphinx and Kazooie's face on like targets or not. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of similar to how Boggy had just a random photo of Banjo and Kazooie in his igloo, and we never even met the guy before we entered that world. But now it is time to enter this next pyramid that we caused to rise out of the ground by feeding those Sphinx. Go and collect these notes here on the staircase, because we do not want to leave any note left behind. And we have some eggs for us here. I guess we might as well replenish our eggs since we're a little low. Not super low. We just kind of needed to get it back up to 200 now that we can carry 200 blue eggs. Which again, I really feel like it's way more than enough eggs that you even need at a time. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and enter the next pyramid. This is King Sandybutt's tomb. Turn back or face his wrath. So yes, so it is now time to take on King Sandybutt's tomb. You choose not to heed our warning, prepare to run. So we are now on a timed maze section of the level. So yes, this pyramid contains a giant maze. They gave you a minute to get through this thing, and it is not that difficult at all. However, you do want to keep your eye open for some secrets that are hiding in one of these corners, I believe. As you can see, we have some more collectibles. Some eggs and red feathers are kind of scattered throughout the maze. We don't necessarily need to get those, but there is something I do want to find, and I'm not sure where it is. I thought I knew where it was, but it turns out I was wrong. Pretty sure it's in like, man, we're getting close on time here, but yeah, we definitely don't want to run out of time. I believe it's an automatic death, and it like starts you back up from the level if you run out of time, but that was the grunty switch over there we needed. No, the bear survived. He's after the king's ancient relic. And this sarcophagus is our next Jiggy. Very nice. And as you can, as you hear, there's a Jinjo hiding out in one of these pots. Go ahead and grab those golden feathers that we didn't really need in that one. There is a Mumbo token in this pot, and then the Jinjo is over in this pot right here. You will find the purple Jinjo. So we already have 3 of the Jinjos, 2 more left to find. We are making fine work of this place. So now it's time to go back to the maze section. And what's nice is they actually restart your timer. So you can actually go in and out of the maze as many times as you want if you want to go back and collect all of the collectibles that you missed. In our case, we just want to go back in, or in my case, I just want to go back and actually hit that grunty switch, because of course that's going to activate another extra Jiggy hidden within Gruntilda's lair. As you can see, this time it was hidden within that sarcophagus, which is right outside of the entrance to Gobi's Valley. So now we want to go ahead and make our way through the maze again. I'm actually going to see if we can maybe look for some other stuff over here. I think it's just red feathers, yeah, right there, and some eggs. We don't really need anything over there. Anyways, get out of our way, mum. We don't need your nastiness in our way. Your ancient toilet paper looking body wrapped in a bunch of bandages. Anyhow, we are done here, so it is now time to exit. As you can see, we go out a different door with Kazooie's face on it. So there's actually a back door as well as a front door. So that's kind of nice how you kind of go through a different door through the pyramid. And now it is time. As you can see, we have this Sphinx right here. He's actually standing on 2 feet, which is kind of impressive. But he has a giant hoop over his head. And as you can see, there's a magic carpet that stops in a certain area. And what's nice about this level is you have pretty easy transportation throughout the world, because they give you those magic carpets that allow you to get from one point to the other. And that's actually going to become useful because we're going to need to take that magic carpet to get one of the Jiggies coming up soon. But for now, we're going to go ahead and just fly through these hoops using Kazooie's flight ability, because if we do, we will get another reward. We're going to fly through this guy, or this guy's ring atop his head. Summon all the hidden rings of the ancients to beat the witch. So that is all it takes to beat Gruntilda and end the game. We just have to go through all these rings, and yeah, no, it's not as easy as that. He's kind of messing with us here, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about once we fly through all these rings above the Sphinx heads. Yeah, they kind of give us a wide open space for the flight ability in this world. I think this is probably one of the best worlds to use Kazooie's fly ability. And I missed that Mumbo token. Just because, again, you have such wide open spaces. I know in Freeze Easy Peak, it was kind of like that, except you have a giant snowman in the center of the world. This time, you're kind of more, it's kind of more wide open, and you're kind of more free to do the Beak Bomb move to get you around from point A to point B a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently, because that's why, honestly, that's why I love the Beak Bomb move. But anyways, now that we've flown through that ring, we have another one to find. So this is kind of similar to the mission back in Bubble Gloop Swamp when we had to feed the golden crocodile guys, or golden alligator statue looking guys, the eggs. Except this time it's a lot quicker because we are just flying through some rings, and we're able to get around a lot easier with Kazooie's flight ability versus searching around a big swamp looking for some golden crocodiles and trying to aim the eggs into their mouths. Not hard mission. Of course, we did it pretty easily last time, or back in Bubble Gloop Swamp. This one's a lot quicker and a lot more easier to do. But now we need to find the last one, and I believe he's over by this area over here, I believe. So as you can see, there's a ton of spots to explore that we haven't even really got to yet. Again, more buildings and pyramids that we are going to enter, but we'll get to those once we get to those. We have a giant cactus with a big ol' circular opening in the middle, and that's going to become useful and important a little bit later on. You saw a big camel over there, another magic carpet. That guy is pretty famous in the Banjo-Kazooie universe, so if you played this game before like I have, you know exactly who that guy is, and he is definitely a character. Now that we have flown through the last ring, only joking, mortal, we can only give you this. Yeah, of course, that was not the shortcut to defeating the witch and ending the game. The guy was being sarcastic, but he does have a prize waiting for us on his back. So we're gonna go ahead and head over there here in a minute. Actually, want to see if I can grab this Mumbo token since we're up here, because I missed it again. I want to grab as many as I can, even though I'm not aiming to get every single one of them. But if they're in my sight like that one, you might as well pick it up, right? So it is now time to move right along here. As you can see, there's actually one of Bottles' molehills over there, so that's where we're going to actually learn the next move. Now, we're going to go ahead and take our prize that is sitting on the back of Jinxie the Sphinx. This guy is such a jokester, but he rewards us, so it all works out in the end. So now it's time to take the flight pad once again, because we have some more stuff to do in the air. Go ahead and move right along here. You're going to want to go ahead and avoid the Scabby down there, which is the scarab beetle flying around down there. And we are going to go ahead and land right here on this tree. Replenish our red feather count, because we're actually getting kind of low. And now it's time to speak to Bottles once again. These are the running shoes. Beaky wears them on her scrawny feet to make her run really fast for a limited amount of time. Your energy is a little low. I will fill it up for you. All right. And well played, Banjo. You have now learned all the moves in the game. So yes. So the running shoes is the very last move we will learn from Bottles in the entire game. And we have a few more worlds still left to do, and we have still a lot of the game left to complete, but those are all the moves we're going to learn in the game. Grabba's got a Jiggy. Ner, 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 whatever that means. But anyways, yeah, that is Grabba. As you see, he has a Jiggy in his hand, a little mummified hand. So what we need to do is actually use those running shoes to get a nice little sprint to go ahead and grab it right out of his hand. But first, we need to not get hit by that guy. Go ahead and take care of him. So the running shoes are actually going to be up here. We are going to need to put these suckers on. As you can see, Kazooie goes lightning speed now. So yes, the wading boots are nice and useful to get through some nasty areas, but the running shoes will allow us to speed right along. No, I have had that 1,000 years. Well done, mortal. And we have taken the Jiggy from Grabba, because we are now quicker than lightning. And that is number 5. So we're already halfway done with Gobi's Valley. And now that we have the running shoes, we're going to make fine work of the rest of this world. So yes, final ability finally gotten in the game. So it is now time to move right along. We'll go ahead and actually take the wading boots now, because there are some collectibles in the sand that we do need to grab right down here. We're going to actually do that now. Kind of nice to be able to use both of the boots and the running shoes in this world. Kind of make great use of both of the moves. I know typically when you learn a move in a world, it doesn't get a lot of use after that world that you learn it in, other than maybe obviously the Talon Trot. We pretty much made use of this in like every single part of this Let's Play. But it's kind of nice to see the wading boots kind of get still more use in some other abilities like the Beak Bomb and of course the Kazooie's flight ability. Those ones are kind of like widely used, but like I just like the idea of keeping, you know, good use of some of the moves we've learned in previous worlds. But now it is time to move right along. And if you notice, Mumbo does not have a hut in this world. So this is another world where Mumbo does not show up, so we will not get a transformation. So that's just something to keep in mind, because Mumbo does not always show up in every single world. And it's probably because it's so hot in this desert, he probably does not want to set up his hut there, because the guy is very, very particular. So Now it's time to hit this star switch. As you see, we have a timer of 25 seconds to get into the top of this building. With the running shoes, this will be pretty easy, but it still can be pretty challenging because if I remember correctly, they gave you a very short window to actually get up there. As you can see, I'm already down to 8 seconds. So even with the running shoes, this can be kind of a chore. I want to kind of focus on collecting all these notes first, so I don't really care if it closes now because I want to make sure I get all these notes and I don't want to miss them if I forget them later. Grunty's going on and on about something, but yeah, so essentially what we need to do is try this again, but this time we want to try to cut as many corners as we can because they really don't give you much leeway in this timer at all. We'll go ahead and grab the running shoes, and I kind of like the idea that that cutscene kind of takes a little bit of your time. I think that's kind of unnecessary. As you can see, we hit that switch. Our timer starts, but that cutscene we have to kind of wait for like 4 seconds. That's kind of a bummer. I don't know why that's part of the timer, but anyways, we're gonna see if we can go ahead and get it this time around. You basically do not want to miss a single, like you just don't want to mess up when you're running up this place because it can pretty much screw you over from getting in there. We're gonna see, as you can see, I can kind of cut corners by jumping, and I think we did it. No, man, that was so close. Yeah, so as you can see, even if you're just like a millisecond or like 1 or 2 seconds away, that door is gonna close on you faster than you can say tomorrow. All right, I think we got it this time. 5 seconds to spare. Cut as many corners as possible. Come on, man. 1 second. And we're in. Very nice. As you can see, we are now submerged in water. Or this building is submerged in water, I should say. We'll go ahead and collect this Mumbo token now. It is very important to do that first because you're going to see why. There's actually a Jiggy right here. So we're going to grab that. And that will open the door to this pyramid. And it will also lower the water and release the water outside.